Alright, so last one. Part number 7, it says evaluating an intercept. So we're going to do number 33. It says given y equals a cube root of 5x plus 10 minus 5. We want to find the y-intercept. Now to find the y-intercept, guys, you're going to set x equal to 0 and solve. It's kind of like the opposite. If you want to find the y-intercept, you set x equal to 0 and solve. So wherever you see an x, you are going to plug in a 0. Now if we wanted to find the x-intercept, you would plug in a 0 for y and solve. So always the opposite. So here it's nice because 5 times 0 is 0, so that cancels. So you get y equals the cube root of 10 minus 5. And that's not a pretty cube root number, so I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator. So I have math 4 cube root of 10 close parentheses minus 5. And then hit enter. I get negative 2.84, negative 2.85. So if this is the y-intercept, your x is 0, so you have 0, negative 2.85, and we're rounding. So that's about your x-intercept. I'm sorry, your y-intercept. For part B, they want you to find f of negative 2. This means if you have f of negative 2, this means your x is 2 and you're trying to solve for y. What is the y? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in a negative 2 for x. So 5 times negative 2 plus 10, all inside the radical, minus 5. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. I have negative 10 plus 10 minus 5. The cube root of, well, this cancels, right? So you get the cube root of 0. And the cube root of 0 is 0, because 0 times 0 times 0 is 0. So you get 0 minus 5, which gives us negative 5. That is our final answer. Alright, so the last one they ask, what is a domain? I think this was trying to trick you. But guys, if we remember for domain and range, always, 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 no matter what, if we have the cube root function, or sorry, the cube function, or the cube root function, your domain and range are always going to be all real numbers. Always. Because it is going left to right, negative infinity to positive infinity, and then same thing for your range, bottom to top, always negative infinity to positive infinity. So for this one, right, this is your origin. This is also your origin, if you guys remember. So your domain for both functions is always all real numbers, or you can write it negative infinity to positive infinity if you're writing interval notation. And then your range is the same thing, all real numbers, negative infinity to positive infinity. It doesn't matter if you stretch, compress, shift left, shift right, unless you restricted the domain for some reason, which we don't in this case because we don't have to, because the inverse is still a function. No matter what, in this case for the cube and cube root function, it is all real numbers.